Oof. One time I had this one client who was just constantly on us every second. He would ping Robert, who's our CEO over at X27. He would ping me, I'm the chairman at X27. He would ping our account managers, our team, and he'd always have some kind of helpful idea or complaint. By the way, if you want the system that we're covering in this video as a free checklist, grab the link in the description. You can have a PDF of everything we talked about. When should you fire a client? This is a question that a lot of entrepreneurs deal with, especially if you're in the services business. I have been in the digital agency space for years now, worked with some of the top agencies in the business, and we all deal with this issue as agency owners. And actually, we deal with this as business owners. When do you fire a client? My short answer to that is you fire them when they're being a dick. If a client is pinging you constantly, asking for things that other clients don't have issues with, that is a big red flag. If a client wants a refund shortly after signing up when every other client is happy, these are just a couple things to look out for. And a lot of the time, you should just fire them at that point. The thing to keep in mind when firing a client is, yeah, you're gonna lose some revenue in the short term by getting rid of clients, but the happiness that you receive by not having that client around is immeasurable in terms of money. Meaning this. Oof. One time I had this one client who was just constantly on us every second. He would ping Robert, who's our CEO over at X27. He would ping me, I'm the chairman at X27. He would ping our account managers, our team, and he'd always have some kind of helpful idea or complaint. Just any of that. The long and short of it is he always wanted to break process. And eventually we had to fire him. We had to tell him, sorry man, I don't think this is gonna be a good fit. And the reason why is, we have a trusted process that's generated over $100 million in leads. We've helped hundreds of business owners do this exact same thing. So if you're having issues, it's kind of on you. And I wouldn't say fire a client immediately. This was after a long string of trying to get them to do better. So for instance, we have at our company a communication system that we follow. So if somebody will ping our company constantly with all these random questions, usually I'll tell them the same thing that I say in our course, Email 10K, which is, if you're gonna ask a question, think through what the answer would be first, do some research on your own, and then ask at that point. And this is actually useful for anyone. Instead of saying something like, when's the project gonna be ready? Think for a second and say something like, you know, when I started working with X27, who I hired because they're very qualified to do this, they told me that it would take 3 months to see results, and they do weekly update calls. Should I wait for that weekly update call, or should I ping them? It's Tuesday, the call's on Thursday. What should I do? And then if you're the client in this scenario, I would say follow the process, because the process is in place for a reason. There are agencies that talk about their huge wins, and I still am of the theory that there are two types of agencies like that. One is the type of agency that never got the huge win or they're exaggerating. And I think that first type is actually pretty rare. And two is a type of agency that has gotten those results in the past, following a very specific process. And a lot of the failure comes from either the client or the agency breaking that process. You as a business owner need to have a process that you follow, a foolproof process even, for getting results for your clients. And then you need to stick to that process, and it takes a lot of confidence, because clients are going to want extra stuff. They're gonna want curveballs. They're gonna want you to break your process. And it's on you as the business owner to stick to the process that you've created for success for your clients. If your process is broken, improve it. But at no point in time should you be taking shortcuts even though the clients want it, or offering deals even though the clients want it. Just respect everything that you put into this business system that you've created. And that's the main time to fire a client. Usually I will fire a client if they cannot follow process. They're pinging us out of order, they're asking for special breaks, they're giving us their own ideas, especially early on before we started implementing these systems and having extreme confidence in what we do. I can't tell you how many times a client would want us to test their cold email versus ours. And I stopped doing it. I stopped even letting our clients look at the emails we send, because every single time it did not just worse, but way worse. So our emails would get an 80% open rate and a 6% meeting book rate, and their emails would get a 14% open rate and a 0% meeting book rate. Like, it was that different. And you've probably seen this if you're selling SEO. The client's SEO ideas suck. If you're running Facebook ads, the client's Facebook ads suck and don't convert. And there's a very simple reason for why that is. It's not that the client's stupid. Obviously, they're successful enough to hire you, right? Like, they can afford you. They're successful business owners. It comes down to this simple reason. If the client knew how to offer the service that you sell at the level that you offer it at, they wouldn't need to hire you. If the client knew how to design a mobile app that worked at a Fortune 500 level, they would just design a mobile app. They wouldn't need to hire your agency. If the client knew how to get to page 1 on Google, they would do it. So when to fire a client, it's when they're hard-headed and they don't trust the agency that they just paid a 6-figure retainer to. You know, like, that's really the only time. Or if they make your life miserable. And what I found is the miserable life almost always comes down to breaking process. If you find that a lot of your clients are in this category, then I would look in the mirror and figure out where in your process do you make it seem okay that your clients can ping you constantly. Are you adding them to your corporate Slack channel, for instance? Are you responding to their 3-word emails, send at 2 o'clock in the morning? Or their emails where it's just a question mark? Where in your system are you allowing this to happen? And where can you fix it, right? A lot of the times it's not about firing the client or even blaming the client. But if you have 10 clients and 1 is a dick, definitely fire that client. But if you have 10 clients and 10 are dicks, something's wrong with your process. And I would go back and rethink it. Running a cold email campaign is one of the easiest ways, one of the most straightforward ways I've found to get new clients. We've used it to match with most of the Fortune 500 for our agency clients and a lot of billion-dollar brands we've been able to sell. We've generated millions of dollars of revenue just from cold email. The problem is, if you've tried cold email, it's not as straightforward and as easy as it looks. But luckily, we have put together the cold email optimization checklist, and you can have it for free. What this is the internal tool we use to optimize our cold email campaigns. This checklist will teach you or your team when to rewrite the subject line, when to rewrite the body of the email, what to put in the body of the email, how to check the email to make sure there's no errors before the send goes out. All of that in a very straightforward checklist, and you can have it for free. To get it, go over to experiment27.com/checklist, and you can have that download. Again, the URL is experiment27.com/checklist. Thanks for watching the video. Comment below. What is your client horror story? What is the worst client you've ever had? And did you fire them? And how did the firing go? Would love to hear. Tell me a story down below. Also, if you want more content like this, subscribe to this channel. We do videos 3 times a week, all about sales, marketing, improving your business, and tactical things like this. Like this video to encourage this type of content, and share this video with a friend if you want to help them out as well, and help out the channel. Thanks for watching. I am Alex Berman.